Hello, this is Dom. I'm going to do a review of Severance, which stars Danny Dyer and Laura Harris as leads. It's a comedy horror based somewhat around the slasher movies with murderers hunting down a group, but unlike it being the tropes of an American TV show or movie, usually involving teenagers or suburbs, this one is actually based around what in sense is a group of office colleagues who are very contrasting in personalities in many ways. They're all insufferable in their own way, some less insufferable, and maybe that's why they have a tendency to survive, but still mildly insufferable. And they work for an arms defense company called Palisade Defense. They go on a trip to stay at a lodge, and along the way get stuck in what seems to be a very disturbing building and surroundings. And it's basically a comedy based on them being hunted by a bunch of psychopaths. I'm not going to go into any more because obviously the suspense of the horror, I think it makes it more interesting, but it is a very enjoyable film. I'm finally glad that I got around to watching it. I bought this years ago knowing it's a very good film, but just never getting the time to watch it. There are certain people in the film who stand out. I mean, Danny Dyer in this film is rather funny. Each character in a way is a trope of what we associate with office workers. So you have a rather irritating bureaucratic boss, you've got the suck-up, you've got the one who feels they're anti-establishment, but then, I don't know if irony is the right phrase, but they are ironically working for a company which represents the establishment. You've got all these tropes and all these individuals playing into this story in which, to a certain extent, nobody really likes anyone. And I think that's where the humour comes from, is the fact that in a certain way they really do hate each other, or at least tolerate each other at most. And I think it just is a very enjoyable movie. I'm glad to have finally watched it. I would recommend it to others, even if the people who may think horror is a bit scary. There's so much comedy to it that even though it does have gruesome parts, they're not as distressing as an actual horror movie might be, or a slasher movie might be. So yeah, I would recommend it. I don't know much to say on it, except for the fact that it's directed by Christopher Smith, who did a film called Creep. I'll be honest with you, I don't actually know much about the background of many of the people in this film. I would be curious to see if other films have been done like this. But ultimately, I enjoyed it a lot, and I hope to see more like it. If you've got any recommendations of films in similar veins, please leave a comment. Otherwise, I hope you like and subscribe, or simply comment if you give some feedback. Thank you very much.